Alright, so I've just arrived at Las Vegas. This is my first time on the Defcon scene. I'm excited to finally attend this conference, go through the various different villages and talks, and just meet a whole bunch of people. So I thought I would kind of just vlog this out, kind of tell you what I'm learning and what I'm trying to capture from this conference. I've never done this before, so this is my first time. And I don't know how much of this you're gonna see because honestly, I'm not a huge vlogger. I thought I would just document this journey and kind of tell you guys what I'm learning along the way. So come with me to Defcon Las Vegas. Just got back from the merch and badge lines. Those lines took forever. Luckily, we got there right at the beginning, and I highly recommend you do that. So I ended up just getting one little shirt just to commemorate the experience. It's just a small little Defcon shirt. That's pretty cool. And then I also got the badge. So I need to assemble this. This is pretty cool. It actually is like a little LED system. Okay, so this is the badge for this year. Pretty cool. It's a little actual TPM. So there's a camera on the back end here, and basically you can scan people's QR codes, which will flash up here. So I need to configure this. It'll be a little fun little badge, pretty cool. And you can actually use it as a TPM module for your passkeys or whatever you want. So that's a pretty cool little badge. I'll have to set this up. You know, the one thing I will say is like everyone I'm seeing is just a cyber person, and I love to see it. These are my people. You know, just the conversations I've already had with numerous people has been super fun. So I'm looking forward to actually attending the conference tomorrow and going through the villages and maybe a few talks and just, I don't know, learning some new things along the way. I have a long list on my notes of just terms and concepts that I need to research when I get home because I've already learned like 10 times the things that I thought I would. So it's been fun so far. I will probably see you tomorrow. Okay, so today is Friday. It's the first official day of the con. I just got home from the defcon.run. Went up and met some great people, some marathon runners, so that was fun to see. I had the badge on, and I'm looking forward to finally starting out in the villages. I think I'm gonna start out with the blue team village and just kind of meander my way around, and from there just kind of, I don't know, explore. So I have a lot of things to go look at, and I'm really excited. I will see what happens. Oh, hey, look, it's me standing in front of this window for like the 5th time. All right, so today was day 1 of Defcon, the official day 1. I had a great time meeting up with a lot of people. Finally got to meet some of the people I've been following for the longest time, so that was kind of a surreal experience. Had a great time working, walking through the villages, seeing all of the CTFs and events, workshops going on. I went to the introductory talk by Jeff Moss and also learned about the history of the badges. Really cool kind of experience and story there. And overall, had a great time. So there's official policies within the Las Vegas Convention Center, which basically have you say that you can't like take videos or photos within the villages, so I didn't really get anything there. But yeah, had a fantastic time getting to meet people, and that's definitely my favorite part of this con so far, is that it's just you're just meeting a whole bunch of really cool folks. Like you'll be going down the escalator and all of a sudden you're talking to a person for like an hour about, you know, I don't know, random stuff. So it's really, the people here are fantastic. The events are also really cool. So I have been kind of shoulder surfing a few people with their consent, seeing how they're working, and man, it's really incredible what people know and how they're able to kind of think about the methodology with attacking and solving different puzzles, problems, CTFs. It's really cool. It's really inspiring, and I've just had a fantastic time getting to know and just to kind of experience this. So if you ever do have the opportunity, definitely come at least once to Defcon just to, you know, get immersed in the environment. I will say the culture here is a lot more surprising than I thought it would be. You know, I thought it'd be a little bit more technical in nature, and it's certainly very technical, way beyond my technical expertise. But the introductory or the approach is very user friendly. Like, everyone is going to greet you with open arms, and they're not going to, gate your keep in a way that's going to be, standoffish. So I really like that. I will say that I'm really impressed. Now, I am fully dead for the day. I'm socialed out, but I'm excited to see kind of what I learned tomorrow and walk through the villages. So I'll probably see you tomorrow in front of this window. And until then, see you then. I'm back. After 4 long days of attending the experience, I've caught up on my sleep and I'm back. So the Defcon experience, Defcon 34, I had a blast, and I thought I would just summarize the experience, some recommendations, and just some fun little highlights of the trip. So to start out, I'm just going to summarize the course of the 4 days, starting off with day 1, which was the day where you have LineCon. Basically, it's long lines for attending the merchandise, if you want to pick up merchandise, which I did, as well as pick up your human badge. So there are 8 types of badges that allow you to enter the Defcon experience, and majority of which are going to be the human badge. So this year's human badge was like the following here. Basically, it's a sequence of lights that revolve around in a circle, and there is a small little chip here which allows you to have a scanning as well as a camera, and I'll talk about that here momentarily. So you pick up your badge, you attend some merchandise, and there are a few small CTF competitions that take off. Defcon badges are kind of a big thing with the experience, and so a lot of individuals like to pre-register because that guarantees you in the ability to have a badge. And so this year's badge is digital, and they go between digital and analog each year. So for this year, the badge theme was basically a kickback to their style 20 years ago. And as you can see here, there is a small chip in front of the badge, which allows you to have a camera as well as a QR code. So the big activity this year was to have basically a way to create a unique light sequence. So these lights go around in a circle, and I believe they default to blue. Now, each of these lights has a certain fingerprint that's unique to your badge. And throughout the experience, you could go up to individuals and you could start to collect their own badge sequence. And so you could start to mesh colors as well as change the rotation and speed of the lights. And eventually, basically, you have this really cool, unique badge that is truly unique to you. Within the badge itself, or rather the chip, there is a CTF experience where you're able to break into the chip. There was a 2-level or 3-level CTF with the master key. I attended the kickoff conference talk by Dark Tangent, aka Jeff Moss, as well as the badge creator, who goes by Bunny. And he kind of overviewed the theme of this badge as well as his chips, and it was really cool talk. And now, speaking of the experience, I kind of came in with myself thinking that I was going to make this as informative as possible. And really what I wanted to do was attend a lot of talks and have this kind of strict schedule. And I used Claude to basically create this schedule based off of what was available. And what I was told by Dark Tangent, Jeff Moss, as well as coworkers and individuals who had been there many times, was to make the experience worth it and to just kind of do everything. So in the Defcon experience, you can do anything from attending workshops, which are 4 hours long. You can attend talks, which is what I was originally going to do, walk around the villages, join a CTF team, play CTFs, do some trivia, and there is a lot of just working with people. And so I went through the experience by just kind of doing a lot. One of the main reasons why this is kind of the recommendation if you're a first timer is to kind of create experiences that are organic and a bit spontaneous. That leads to some of the most fun things that you can do. So in terms of events, I'm just going to kind of kick off with some of the things that you can do at DEF CON. And then one of the main ones is villages. So villages are just centered around a specific theme of security. And so I started out with walking on the first floor and kind of working my way up through the next 3 days. And these villages have basically everything. So you starts with a certain theme, and within the villages themselves, they kind of flow around the floor where you kind of find yourself going through the different villages, and you can, again, play CTFs, attend talks, do demos, meet with people, collect stickers. I mean, there's so much you can do. So I kind of just made the experience of, I just wanted to see what was going on in many of the villages. And the village types range from anywhere from your like kind of traditional blue team, red team, to anything from drone hacking, maritime, aerospace. You could do so many different types of villages, and it was a lot of fun. So some of my ultimate favorite villages this year was the packet hacking village. This was basically themed on, kind of layer 3 of the OSI model, and it was so cool. So I was able to do some RJ45 crimping. You could build your own botnet. There was a regex challenge, and then you had this wall of sheep, which allows you to see network traffic traversing through the Defcon open Wi-Fi. And I thought this was a lot of fun. It was combined with really cool lighting and this DJ going on basically the entire time of the conference. Really cool. Kudos to everyone who, is volunteering within that village and all the villages themselves. They really made the experience worth it. One of the ones that was surprising to me was the maritime village. That was a really cool, they had this boat here, they had a big semi-truck, and it was just a really cool village. And then there was the Snacky Challenge. So this is a vending machine setup. And this is truly people who've solved these challenges, I'm beyond. It's really impressive. So this is basically a vending machine where you have to go through 8 or 9 different layers to actually get the code to open up the door and get a little add-on that you can add to your badge. Really cool challenge. You had to do a bit of everything. So RFID analysis, LED sequence to decode Morse code. And then there was a lot of lower level stuff. Really cool. And so that was a really cool challenge. And then the social engineering village was super cool. So first day was basically individuals who call real humans, and they try to collect information that is benign, so nothing that is sensitive, but you try to collect information, and depending on how far you get within the challenge, you get a certain number of points. A lot of really cool to see, and so I highly recommend that if you are going to be a first-timer, just walk around the villages. The next thing was the CTFs played. So there is a lot of CTFs going on, way too many, and so the big things that I noticed was there was the Blue Team Village, which is kind of my bread and butter, you could say, my area that I'm really interested in. And they had various different types of CTF challenges going on within the village themselves, but there's just this general Blue Team Village. So my coworkers and I all joined the same team, and we worked through some of the CTFs, and these had anything from malware analysis to OSINT and cloud. It was really cool, a lot of fun. Kudos again to those individuals who set that up. Really impressive. So that was a lot of fun. That was kind of the only CTF I did, and to be honest, I didn't do a ton of CTFs. So that was the CTFs. In terms of workshops, they were full, and I don't think I would recommend that for the first timers because basically it takes up a large chunk of your con experience. But there's workshops. You can do anything from cloud hacking 101 to reverse engineering. There's a lot of cool workshops that do get hosted. The highlights of my trip specifically included first defcon.run. So if you are a runner, this was super fun. I got to finally meet some people who are runners and they're into security. It was a lot of fun. There's different routes, so you can go from 2 miles to maybe a 10 mile or 12 mile. And so I just chose the 6 or 7 miles. Had a blast running through Las Vegas and just being able to talk to some of these individuals and kind of what they do for a living and how they got into running. That was a really fun experience. Highly recommend that. The ultimate highlight of my trip was meeting the people. These people were just so cool. You had just the most unique individuals walking these floors. There was the InfoSec celebrities that I've always looked up to. Bruce Schneider and Daniel Miessler are kind of big ones to me. And you have individuals who are expert, CTF players. I, in fact, saw a guy who literally got a job offered to him by solving an AI CTF. He got through all 5 levels, and they literally said, "We would like to offer you a job, for this company." Really impressive. And walking up the escalators, walking to and from the hotel, going to get lunch. I mean, literally anything. I would get stopped, and we would just be talking to these individuals for maybe an hour or two, just, chatting with what they're doing and how they're working. And we would walk to villages together. So I probably met 30 people, on a personal level, and had deep conversations about how they got interested in security, or just, their interest with the badges. It was a lot of fun. And that was my ultimate highlight of the trip, is just meeting some of the most unique people. I got to meet some of the individuals who've been following me, and I was really cool. And so I'm very grateful for the experience. And overall, I would highly recommend that you do go at least once. For me, I don't know if I would have to go every year, but I definitely would recommend you go and kind of just have that Defcon experience and, make it what you want to. I recommend kind of just blending it all in together. I think it's a ton of fun. And the only downside of Defcon, in my opinion, is the lines and the people. There is so much to do. It's almost a bit overwhelming. And what that translates to is you're not getting a lot of sleep, and you're walking your feet all day. So the experience isn't very relaxing in nature for a lot of people, because it's just a lot of everything. So I would recommend that you do keep that in mind if you are attending the con. So overall, I had a blast on this experience, and I learned a lot, met a lot of cool people. And, thanks to everyone who volunteers and kind of makes those experiences amazing, for first-timers to individuals who've gone for many years. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you've learned something new. And until the next time, have a good day.